talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.
Welcome to Talking with Tom. I'm Tom Dacey alongside Ed McCarver. Hello, Ed.
Hello, Tommy. How are you?
Fine. Yourself?
Good to be back here in the friendly confines of NHTV. As I guess today being September, we launch into the fall season. And by the way, happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
You had a birthday yesterday?
Thank you.
See, look, we have a studio audience here. I like
Should
that,
I let the cat out of the bag?
And tell them your age?
I am now officially an old man. I reached a half a century yesterday.
The big 5-0. Well, you may be 5-0, but you're still a punk to me. No, but congratulations.
Not quite as old as Mr. McCarver
yeah,
here.
I know. But 50 years old, and let's hope for 50 more.
Thank you.
But yeah, I did want to acknowledge your birthday, and it is September. You'd never know it by the temperature today that they say Labor Day summertime is unofficially over. But
What was it, like 90 today, I believe?
it was horrible. It was horrible. And although we'll be looking for this sort of weather a couple months down the road. But we were talking before about what a busy fall season we have. A lot of remotes.
Yes.
We have some duty this weekend coming up with the North Haven Fair, correct?
As I'm doing tonight, tonight I'm doing double duty.
Yep,
Right
yep.
after this, we have the Squared Circle with myself, John Zimmerman, and Hollywood
Yep.
J. Williams.
Right here at NHTV.
Well, Saturday, you and I will be doing our show at the North Haven Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Sunday, I will be back with Mr. Zimmerman to cover the Northeast Wrestling.
Oh, that's right. As part of the North Haven Fair, they have the Northeast Wrestling matches on Sunday afternoon.
And a good friend of ours, Short Sleeve Sampson, is back this year.
Now, I do remember him from a couple of years ago. I think we did an interview with him.
Yes.
So, yeah, he was a colorful character. So, I remember that.
And then, of course, early part of October, you and I will be doing our remote at Celebrate Wallingford.
Celebrate Wallingford at our sister community, just down Route 5 here from North Haven. Celebrate Wallingford. Always a fun event. Always a good job. I'm actually, I'm looking forward to the North Haven Fair, of course, but Celebrate Wallingford holds a nice place in my heart, so I'm looking forward to that.
As it does mine. We always have a good time.
Yep. And another thing that what we're here for tonight is holding a place in my heart is you're for the 8th annual Tommypalooza. I don't want to steal your thunder here, but if you want to talk a little bit about it.
Yes, it'll take place November 2nd at the Italian...
2 months from today.
At the Italian Club in Wallingford on Dudley Avenue.
Yep.
And I'm proud to be partnered up with now as a permanent partnership with Lisa Catherine from Concerts with Causes and Tina Taylor of T's Promotional and Entertainment.
Excellent.
They'll be joining us shortly.
Yep. They're our guests tonight. We have a couple of musicians that'll be performing, and it should be an entertaining and informative hour ahead of us.
Yes, and as I usually say, Ed, have you done your homework?
And as I usually answer, right here.
With Ed's Humor News. Take it away, Goob.
All right. Thank you, Tommy. Well, Tom, a Penn State student is gaining a reputation as a squirrel whisperer for befriending, feeding, and dressing up a furry little friend she has named Sneezy. Junior Mary Krupa says she is able to dress up the squirrel in party hats or get Sneezy to hold doll-sized props simply by feeding the animal. Mary said Sneezy's exploits are chronicled in a Facebook page titled Sneezy, the Penn State Squirrel. So far, the squirrel is proving quite popular, as its page has more likes than the school's official mascot, the Nittany Lion. Well, the drug bust was perfectly planned, but unfortunately, Austrian police broke down the wrong door. Police official Joseph Knaflach confirmed a report that a SWAT team that used a battering ram to bust into an apartment at daybreak and surround its sleeping tenant was actually meant to target the neighborhood dwelling. The SWAT team had a hard time reading the apartment numbers because they had decided to leave the hall lights off prior to the bust. Police subsequently went next door and found cocaine, drug paraphernalia, and a large amount of cash. Officials say the tenant in the first apartment was compensated for the mistake. A 33-year-old slice of cake from Prince Charles and Princess Diana's 1981 wedding has sold at an auction for $1,375. The cake, still in its original white and silver presentation box, was sold online last Thursday by Nate D. Saunders Auctions of Los Angeles. With the box was a card saying, "With best wishes from their Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess of Wales." Auction house spokesman Sam Heller said the buyer is a private collector. Although the cake came wrapped in its original wax paper, Heller said it probably would not be a good idea to try and eat it. By the way, do you have any of your birthday cake left?
Yes.
Can I have a piece later on?
Sure. I think there's even some out here, too.
Oh, is there really? Right. Finally, Tom, an assembled guest. And just in time for the football season, a brewery in Texas is launching a 99-pack of its Peacemaker Ale. The 7-foot-long pack consists of 3 rows of 33 cans that tip the scales at 82 pounds. The item was the idea of Michael Graham, co-founder of the Austin, Texas brewery. He said the first pack was made as a joke, but it seems a lot of people are taking it seriously. Graham recommends you share the purchase with about 33 of your closest friends. And I think the way the Dallas Cowboys will probably be playing this season, Texas might be a good place to consume.
How about your New York Jets?
Well, I'm very glad you asked that. Of course, the New York Jets will start their undefeated season this
Highly
Sunday
doubtful.
against the always dangerous Oakland Raiders, and I am pumped up for that. I'm sorry to say your fish are playing the New England Patriots.
I have a nice surprise for you Saturday at the North Haven Fair.
Oh, do you?
I got a nice new Miami Dolphins hat for my birthday yesterday.
Oh, yeah? Well, hopefully one of the farm animals at the North Haven Fair will do something. But, yeah, that should be fun. But, yeah, the exciting weekend, North Haven Fair, and then, of course, you have the Northeast Wrestling on Sunday, and I have the
Jets
our
loss.
beloved Jets.
Jets' first loss.
Let's hope not. They have a tough schedule. They start with Oakland, who they should be, and then they play Green Bay, Chicago, and Detroit. And those are going to be tough games. So I have a feeling if we don't win Sunday, it may be a long season. So,
Well,
but anyway, that's for another conversation.
What do you say? Should we officially welcome our guest?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Please help me welcome from Concerts with Causes, Lisa Catherine, and next to Lisa is Tina Taylor. Welcome, ladies. And I should say they're both no stranger to talking with Tom. We've had him on many times.
They've on probably more than us, I think. Yep, they're both a friend to the friend of the program. And ladies, we thank you both for taking time out of your schedules to come see us tonight.
It's always fun to be here.
Definitely.
Lisa, can you talk a little bit about Concerts with Causes? Can you give us a little background?
Sure. Concerts with Causes is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We do music events to raise money for charities. It's a very short version of what we do. Usually work with local musicians who volunteer their time and talent, and we always choose charities that have directly affected the community or people directly that we know. So that's a real short summary of what we do and what we've been doing.
And of course, Ed and I were at your very first event you did.
You absolutely
Talk
were.
a little bit how you got started.
Well, August 2011, we had our kickoff event up in Hartford, and you guys were there on stage helping us announce and introduce.
Seems like yesterday.
It does. It was just 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to be going into our fourth
You
season.
were only
soon.
47.
Very, very young, yes. And that was a lot of fun. And since then, one of these days I have to count how many events we've done, but it's averaging about 12 a year, so probably close to 35 events we've done since then.
That banner that is behind you too is also your logo, the
That is our logo for the Imagine It Fund. Yes, our general logo is what's on our sleeve, thanks to Tommy. These are our Tommypalooza shirts. So this is our basic logo for Concerts with Causes. And each project, we design the heart part to go along with the project for the focus of the year. And this year being the Imagine It, from John Lennon's song Imagine, the Imagine It Music Education Fund. So that's the logo for this year for that particular project anyway.
And Tina, how did you get started with Tina's promotional entertainment?
I actually started doing volunteer work. Well, my husband passed away 10 years ago, and I used to volunteer outside the house. Then I was like, how am I going to help, people without, going out of my house? So I started doing stuff on the internet and stuff. And then I just got offers of like helping people, going down to Nashville several times a year, getting paid to do things down there and stuff. So it's an amazing time. I love it. It's great helping, especially new artists, being heard. That, a lot of radio stations, you have to have mega bucks to be heard on the radio and stuff. So it's really nice. And, especially country music, they're very giving. They're very, for St. Jude, all different kinds. So usually any of my country artists are more than willing to help out with any kind of volunteer things.
It must have been amazing the first time you went to Nashville.
Yes, it was. And it's funny because the first time I went there, like, I had no idea, like, people knew who I was, and they're like, they known me as, like, the Roy's girl, because the first people I started promoting were the Roy's out of Massachusetts. And then everyone's like, you're the Roy's girl, I'm like, oh, yeah.
But you like it.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, excellent. How do you mentioned Imagine It is your charity for this concert and this Tommypalooza. And Tom, I should ask you this first, but I wanted to start with Lisa. How do you pick out the charities, and what are some of the charities that you've worked with over the years with Concerts with Causes?
Well, our first year, we raised money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society and the Paul Newman Hole in the Game Camp. And we chose those out the gate because my daughter's a cancer survivor, and we had been doing events for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And at her request, because she had volunteered at the Hole in the Wall Game Camp and just saw how fantastic that the whole facility was and what they do there, she asked that we do something for them. So that was our first year, because we had a personal experience and we knew firsthand how these organizations work. The second year, at my brother's request, we raised money for the Fisher House, which is the military housing that's being built here in Connecticut on the grounds of the VA hospital.
Okay.
And again, personal experience, we knew somebody that benefited directly, my brother's family, because my nephew was wounded in Afghanistan. So we spent the second year, our focus was for them. Moving forward, because we're on the new side, I wanted to get our music education fund in place, because we are a huge supporter of youth and music and helping and raising awareness, inspiring kids to learn music, to take an instrument and benefit. There's so many benefits to music. And
Kind of like paying it forward.
Absolutely.
Sort of thing, so, yeah.
But the music helps the kids learn. There's so many benefits. So having the education fund, I wanted to get that up and rolling. So that's why we did that this year.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask you, Tom, because I know that Tommypalooza is something that you've been doing now for 7-8 years, and you've had various charities.
We should mention that I did skip a year last year. We didn't do it last year because of my health situation last year. That's why I took the year off.
You know what? I had forgotten about that. That's right.
So we're back in full swing this year. But when I was thinking about what I wanted to do this year, I had approached Lisa and Tina for teaming up with me. I figured who better but these two that have all the music connections. I figured make it a permanent partnership, and I said to Lisa, I said, how about if I do it for your Imagine It Fund this year? And that's how I decided for this year.
What are some of the other charities that you've worked with in the
United
past?
Cerebral Palsy, MDA, and of course, I did it for Rita and Margaret the first year. That had the Arnold Chiari.
Yes. Oh, I almost forgot about that.
That was the start of that. That's how I came up with having the Tommypalooza every year. I did it for them so they could hopefully get the medical treatment they needed. Yep. And I wanted to make it an annual event.
Yeah, very, very nice mother-daughter duo. I remember that.
Yeah, I don't think they're in the area anymore, and I've been trying to locate them. I haven't been able to reach them, so.
I know they were Southington, right?
Yeah.
Is that where they lived? And of course, you did something Special Olympics one year.
Yeah, Special
That was,
Olympics, of course, with our good friend Dave Burkhart and his family.
Yep.
They're big supporters of the Special Olympics because of David Blakesley.
Yep. I find somebody who got me involved later on with the torch run. I do the torch run with
You just
with
did
David
it this
every
past
year.
year, too, right?
Yep. First Saturday in June. So it's like the Kentucky Derby's the first Saturday in May. The Special Olympic torch run is the first Saturday in June. So Dave was kind enough to take this old horse out with him, and so.
And we
I
do
was
mean
like,
old.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about Tommypalooza here. You can give us a call at 203-907-0436, 203-907-0436. We'll be here to the top
Glad
of the
to
hour.
see you got that number memorized.
Yes, I was going to go the 234-0025, but thanks to the monitor, which is placed right in front of my aging eyes here, I'm able to see everything. You have a website.
We do.
Lisa.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about that and how that helps as far as spreading the word about
The website.
Concerts with Causes.
Everybody needs to have a website nowadays and a Facebook page. The social media is crazy now. But our website is concertswithcauses.org. So it's the concerts with an S, with causes.org. And I try to keep that. I do it myself. I'm totally not a web designer, but I try to keep it updated with the important information, what's going on.
I know you've been very busy lately besides helping with Tommypalooza. I know you've had quite a few events yourself.
This fall is going to be crazy. I think we have 8 events. So, yes, trying to get all the details finalized. So that's all, pretty much everything's up on the website now. And then there's links. I'm pretty sure I got a link already to you guys to Charmed, giving away our next guest here. But I try to keep adding the performers on there, and so that people can go onto the website and see what we're doing, who we're working with, find out more about the performers, get information about us.
Now, Tina, you do not have a website yet, but maybe...
No, I do have a page linked to my Facebook. It's
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
T's Promotional and Entertainment.
Oh, okay. Okay, and that's same thing as Lisa says as far as getting the word out there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Networking on, actually I'm in the process of hopefully getting a website up, but it's great, putting it out there because everyone's on the web, so it's definitely a help to have that.
And of course, Facebook is a great tool for that.
Oh, definitely. Especially, whenever you want to know something's going on, you just go on Facebook,
So I found out it was your birthday. We'll talk about some of the groups that you're having, but how do you get the groups to perform with Concerts with Causes?
They usually contact us, or if I'm out and about and I, see a performance and get chatting, I mention who we are and what we do, and say check us out, and it's kind of just happens.
A lot of networking and
a lot of network, yeah. And it's nice that we're going into our 3rd year. People are starting to know of or have heard of Concerts with Causes, so more musicians are reaching out to us, which is nice, real nice.
You want to talk a little bit about what we have planned for November 2nd?
I think we pretty much finalized our lineup for November 2nd. We have the first hour and a half. Leanne Shea will be showcasing some of her students, and the Music Imagine It Fund is for to help students pursue music education. So that's a nice way to start this event.
Absolutely.
And then we have one of our Dante Strollo, who was 8 years old when he came to our first event. You guys, I believe you might have had to leave that day, but he was on stage with us at the very end, and a brand new guitar student. And I had told him that night, you keep practicing and I'll have you perform at one of our events someday. And he did at the Augusta Curtis this past spring at our kickoff for the Imagine It Fund.
Yep. Augusta Curtis, okay.
And he is actually going to be one of our featured entertainers at this. He'll be our first acoustic guitar player. Then we have Don Gialla. I can never say his name.
Don Gialla, who we all know.
A friend of the program.
Yeah, he's
and
been
a
on
good
with us
talent.
before. Very, very great acoustic player. Did we say next? Jen and Ken? I think we were going to have you guys play next. Then we have a band, Fee Fi Fo, which is an acoustic. They have world drumming and guitar. They'll actually, I believe Ronnie's going to be calling in to say hey in a little bit, and then
And then we have James Copeland.
James
Another
Copeland.
former guest.
James Copeland.
Also, we're going to have a little special guest, John Cadillac Seville from Country 92.5.
Yes,
Will
John
also be there.
Cadillac
Oh,
Seville
okay.
will be
Yep,
in the house.
yep. Kind of a Connecticut legend, John Seville, who's been on the show a
Yeah.
couple of times, and
As I
No.
refer to John, he often calls me Mayor Tom, so of course my response to John is I call him governor. I say he should be the governor of this state.
well,
If I'm the mayor, then he's the governor.
yeah, and he's a DJ legend, I think.
Yes.
I shouldn't say DJ, I should say radio announcing legend, John Cadillac Seville. And we had him on, and he was a very, very nice man. I remember when the program was over, I think we must have talked about another hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, he was on a couple of times. We did a show with him by himself, and then he was gracious enough to come on with Shane Michael Taylor.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, a remarkable talent in his own right. Again, we're talking about Tommypalooza. It's Tommy's eighth fundraiser. It'll be held Sunday, November 2nd, 60 days from today, from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. It'll be in Wallingford at the Libero Pensario Society, the Italian club, 91 Dudley Avenue in Wallingford. It's held in conjunction with Concerts with Causes and Tees Promotion and Entertainment. The benefit is Imagine It, the Music Education Fund. Let me just give a couple people a plug here. The food will be provided by Tata's. Tickets.
Another great friend of the show.
Yes. Tickets are $15 each, 2 for $25. So I can get Maureen in for only $10. So, and 10 and under, $5. And for tickets, can I give out your phone numbers?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Here?
We also have an online account for the tickets as
Is
well.
that set up too?
Yep, it is all set. It's concertswithcauses.ticketleap.com.
Actually, I did see that today in
Yep.
doing
Yep.
research for it.
Yep, and there's all the events are listed there, so just scroll down a little bit and you'll
Yep.
find our Tommypalooza events on there. So
I
you
did
can get tickets
I
online,
did see that.
as well as calling any of us.
And we will have raffles that day
Yep.
and 50-50.
And if you do need tickets, you can call Tom at 203-697-9292, Lisa at 203-213-0199, or Tina at 203-589-2425. So that's Tommypalooza, Sunday, November 2nd. It'll be here before we know it, probably.
It'll
a
be
month.
another loss for the Jets.
Yes, and probably shoveling a month after the Tommypalooza. But the day of a concert with Concerts with Causes, for example, like the one that we saw a couple of years ago. What are your duties on the day of a concert? Is it hectic?
Everyone is different. That was a big one. We had to get things started the day before with sound checks and staging and all that.
I mean, it went off without a hitch, as I recall.
But it's a lot of
It
that.
was
That one is
successful,
a lot of work.
But are you? I mean, you're not as gray as I am, so.
It's
do you-
stressful.
It is stressful. So.
I'm very blessed. There's a really nice bunch of people around Concerts with Causes that helps out. So it helps. Everybody chips in, and it's not as bad. It's just the details, because of course you want everything
yeah.
to be as absolutely nice as possible.
Go through that every year, I know.
Yeah, last minute details that you forget about or you want to add because you just thought of it. And so I tend to stress myself out a little bit too much, being up late nights before the event. But
And
they're
Tina, I
fun.
would assume the same with you. Is
Oh yes, definitely. I've done other events by myself for like cancer and fundraisers and stuff, and it's very stressful. Trying to get everything together and stuff. So.
Yeah.
But it's all good for a good cause,
you always have that finish line, that goal in mind. So it
Yeah.
kind of, if you have a few bumps in the road, it kind of it's okay.
And again, a lot of it for me is who we work with.
Yeah.
Whether the performers are all awesome.
You got a great
Besides
crew behind
talented, they're just wonderful people for doing what they're doing. All the people that are on board helping us raise money and set things up and break things down, and that's it's fun.
I can't forget, but we have to also thank Aaron Stone.
Goodness.
Aaron has donated his time to take care of sound for us.
Yep. He's a very special friend of Concerts with Causes. He does a lot of work around, not just Wallingford area, all over. He's a wonderful production person.
Didn't want to forget about Aaron.
You did an event, I recall, I think it was my favorite Concert with Causes event a couple of years ago in Wallingford. That it was at P&A Park.
The Wally-Palooza, the outside.
Wally-Palooza.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
It reminded me, it's the closest thing to Woodstock since Woodstock.
That was a lot of work. That was probably our biggest project at this point, I would say, because it was.
I was there. That was quite a crowd that day.
And it was a as I recall, it was like, well, not 3 days of peace and love and music, but
it was a full
a
day,
long 8 or 9 hours of.
It really, really was. I think we had 11 acts.
Yep.
Yeah, and Aaron Stone did the sound for that whole day and night, and huge project.
And actually, I remember. I think part of it was televised
On WPA.
On
Yeah,
WPA.
and I think Mike Cuomo.
Yep.
He
at
was
the
down
time
there,
did the intro for it. And
Yeah.
So, tell us what that day was like.
Crazy. That whole week before was crazy, hectic. We have to get there super early because we had the staging was tractor trailer trucks, so getting those in place. Actually, that day was really very unnerving because the weather was, oh gosh, it's either going to storm or it's not going to storm.
Yeah, I remember that. It was kind of iffy.
Like Woodstock.
Yeah, and the nice P&A Park is a wonderful place to do an event because worst case scenario, if it rained, we could have went inside. We had that building available to us, but the whole, do we set up the stage? Do we not set up the stage? We waited a little longer than we should have to get things going, but it was, it all worked out really nice. It really, really
I remember
did.
we had one of our Tommypaloozas.
I
at P&A Park.
do remember that with an old friend of ours, Doug Allen, I think, was headlining.
Yeah, don't you remember? We were inside, and I was just about to introduce Doug, and big bolt of lightning came just as I was introducing
The timing couldn't have been better. It was something like, this artist needs no introduction, and then crack, the lightning came through. And I remember I think we all jumped.
Yep.
So, but it was, yeah, I do remember that. And that's a nice building.
It really is. It's a
P&A
great
Park,
building.
and,
We're lucky here in Wallingford.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's our friend Ed Zokowitz, who's been a guest on our program, who's a friend of ours, and yeah, it was good. He uses that facility. So
one thing I wanted to ask Lisa. Now I understand. Is this with your Concerts with Causes too? You're also doing some work with Mike's Blue Collar.
Yes, it is. We're partnering up with that brand new club here in Wallingford.
I was saying, for those that don't know, Mike's Blue Collar.
Mike's Blue Collar
is
Bar
a restaurant that just opened up on
South Cherry
South
Street.
Cherry.
Yeah. There'll be 6 Friday nights that we're doing events there. We're doing a Halloween party with Roxy Perry. And then the 4 Friday nights in November, we have performers each Friday night. All the events in November, we're actually going to be raising money for the Fisher House, as well as a percentage going to the Imagine It Fund, because the Mike's Blue Collar, they're huge supporters of veterans. So at their request, kind of, it was fitting to do that. The Halloween party will be for the Music Education Fund, and then Roxy, like she did last year for us, is running our Holiday Jam at December 5th.
I did see that today, and it's
Yeah,
talk about a very busy fall, winter season between Tommypalooza and then the Halloween
I'll
jam.
have to come check that out.
The folks over at Mike's are awesome. It's a beautiful venue. It's a great music room. So I'm very excited to be getting to do some
You
things
could go to
there.
the Halloween. You already got your costume on.
That'll be fine. That'll be fine. So, but yeah, I may go. I'll tell you, just even though if I have to go with you, but just to see Roxy Perry, I recall is an
We haven't
awesome,
had her on the show. She did
awesome
call in
talent.
one time with us. She did
Yeah.
join us on the air one time, but yeah, she is wonderful.
I've seen her live, and she's phenomenal.
Yeah, a lot of
Hartford. She was at our very first event in Hartford.
Yep.
Came up from New York. That was great.
What's the worst part about
The worst part?
about being a promoter, running concerts? And Tina, you could think of an answer too. Is there a time that you think I really don't want to do this? Do you ever have moments where Like, believe it or not, I'm sure Tom and I have, I don't want to do this.
You go first.
I never do. I enjoy it, you know, because especially when you're helping for a cause, you know it's going to something good. So I never really be like, oh, I don't want to. Sometimes I'm like, am I going to be able to pull it off? But, you know, I mean.
Things like an artist doesn't show up or some equipment doesn't work.
I can tell you, I did a comedy benefit for friends of mine. Their child died of cancer. They lived in Baltimore, and it was the Kaler Webb Foundation. And I had a bunch of comics come in and stuff. Nobody was showing up. So thank God for the VFW. Everybody from then the other side actually came in and paid and were buying stuff. And like it was crazy. I was like, oh my goodness, you know. But it ended up pulling off good, and we raised I think like $600, $700 for it. So it was nice.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, Ed. Remember the last Tommypalooza? Poor James Copeland was a trooper.
James Copeland was awesome.
Oh, yeah,
And that's one of your clients, you call him, one of your musicians?
He's one of my people. He's one of my artists. He calls me his manager, even though I do more promotions. But he's like, no, you're my manager. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he did what, double duty that day, and I believe so did Catherine Christopher.
Yes. So, but yeah, I remember James Copeland because he was, and as I recall, he was very gracious about it. He goes, whatever you need. He seems very easy to work with.
Oh yeah, James is more. He was with Abbey Roads for like almost 30 years, and you know got sick of like doing, you know, that going on the road and stuff. He's like now he's at the point of like, you know, if I'm going to do things, it's going to be for a cause. You know, it's going to be for any kind of benefit or things, and he'll go do some shows and stuff like that sometimes. But he's more into doing.
What was that signature song his about the gas crisis?
Walking to Work.
Walking to Work.
Yeah.
Walking to Work. And I did see the video with it, which is on YouTube.
Yep.
So it is very funny.
Yep.
Very funny. Well done. Well done. Again, we're talking with Lisa Catherine and Tina Taylor. We're talking about Tom Dacey's Tommypalooza, Sunday, November 2nd, beginning at high noon and lasting till 7 p.m. at the Italian Club at Wallingford, Connecticut. And you can give us a call.
And there is a Facebook page too, by the way.
Yes, I did notice that too. So getting some responses on the Facebook page. And if you want to call, you have until the top of the hour to give us a call here at 203-907-0436. That's 203-907-0436. And I know we'll be getting into some musical entertainment a bit later on. But go ahead, Tom. You in?
I don't know. Did you want to go to the video now, or
We certainly can.
do you want to wait?
I know Ronnie said he was going to try to call in around 7:30.
We're thinking, let me just, the magic of my device here, say, are we close to the bottom? But I think our lucky caller may be calling on the line.
Okay. Well, hold on.
I think that's what he said to me. And look, it's
Ask and you shall receive.
Yes, this is psychic. So this is like Karnak. So will the Jets win Sunday?
No.
All right. All right. So let's go and let's take this call. And
Hi, you're on Talking with Tom.
Hey, it's Ron from Fee-Fi-Fo. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Ron?
I'm doing well.
We're here with Lisa Catherine and Tina Taylor.
Yes, Lisa had turned me on to this, and I'm glad to call in.
tell us a little bit about your band and what type of music you play and things of that nature.
The Fee-Fi-Fo project it's very organic. It's an acoustic instrument band, and I'd say it's very progressive. It has folk elements. We like to call it honest music. That's kind of what we call it. But there's a lot of different styles mixed into it, and it's sort of socio-political. There's definitely a message in it.
How long has the band been together?
In the current form, I'd say we've been together a little over a year, but John and I, the vocalist, got together probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. It just started the seeds of it, started writing some songs and getting some ideas together, and it's kind of grown to this. We kept adding, we had Fred Melillo on bass, and then James Moss on percussion.
Who was your greatest music influence that really got you started?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I have so many. I mean, I'm definitely a big Zappa fan. I like a lot of progressive music and fusion, and but even like blues and stuff like that, or funk, soul. So I mean, there's too many influences to mention, really.
Well, Frank Zappa, that goes back to my generation, so so I remember that. We have Lisa and Tina in studio. Did you have a question for?
Well, not really a question, but hi, Ronnie.
Hi, Lisa.
I'm really excited. Ronnie's come on board as one of our committee members, and he's an incredible visionary for Concerts with Causes. He's actually was the brains behind our next event over at the Augusta Curtis Center in October. We're coining it Art Fusion, but we're combining the awesome talents of Ronnie and his band, who's also performing at our Tommypalooza, with a live painter and a poet. So we're coining it Art Fusion.
And there you see on
We
your
actually
screen.
have it on
Oh,
the
there we
screen.
go. Yep. That's our
An
event.
evening of Art Fusion presents Fee 5-0. So that's Saturday, October 18th. So just a little over a month away.
And
Yeah,
then you
definitely
guys-
looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a very interesting evening for sure.
If someone wanted to hear your band, do you have a website or a Facebook page or anything of that nature? If people wanted more information about your group?
Yes, we do. You can go on the web at www.nocheese.com, and that's spelled NOCHEEZ.com. And
What is that? That has to be an inside joke there. What is? Can you say it on the air or?
Yeah, it's not dirty.
Oh, all right. What does no cheese mean?
Well, it's kind of like we kind of view a lot of the cultural things that are going on as kind of like a styro food or cheesy food. And I think we're trying to break away from those types of things and try to offer something a little deeper, something with a little more content in it.
Yeah.
NoCheese.com, huh?
Yes. And actually, there's three band projects that these guys are actually involved in too. I also have two electric bands that are No Cheese Orchestra and Styrocultural Antidote, and it's kind of pretty much the same group of people doing all different kinds of stuff.
Ronnie actually called in there practicing tonight. That's why he couldn't be here.
Oh,
They're
really? Oh,
right
okay.
smack dab in the middle of rehearsal.
The
for our
guys are right
shows.
here, right now. Say hello, fellas. Hello, fellas.
Hello.
Hi,
So
guys.
we're getting ready for this because these big gigs are coming up, so we got a pretty big set list that we want to work on and get it tight.
Okay.
And that's
well,
what we're about to do.
we'll let you get back. Thank you very much
I
for
appreciate
calling.
you calling in, and thank you for being part of Tommypalooza this year.
Great. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's Ronnie from Fee 5-0, one of the featured performers at Tommypalooza and with Concerts with Causes. Now, should we get to the...
Yes, I believe we have a video now, Elise.
Ronnie made this for us. It's one of his songs with some pictures of a little taste of what they're about.
We'll be back with you in about 4 minutes. Enjoy.
Crawling and climbing, walking and flying, growing and dying. More than could ever be counted, in more places than one could see. Each one in tune with the other, playing their parts in this grand symphony. In the deepest dark depths of the oceans, on the mountain tops, miles in the sky, in the heat of the tropics, the ice in the Arctic, they're born and they grow and they thrive. soaring through the skies, galloping across the grassy plains, branches 500 feet high, teeming in one drop of water, burrowing into the ground. Plant life of every description carpets the world around. Some come and go in an hour. One has seen 80,000 years. In time, all returns to the mother to replenish this wondrous sphere. Mother, 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 crawling and climbing, walking and flying, growing and dying. Life.
And there we have a little bit of Fee Fi Fo playing at Tommypalooza in November and playing
Can't wait to see
October.
them.
Yep, and October 18th they'll be up at the Augusta Cultural Center with Concerts with Causes. So and we thank that phone call.
Yes.
And now we have some other musical guests that you'll be seeing at Tommypalooza. They are two-fifths of the members of the group Charmed. Jen Suarez.
Suarez.
I knew it.
Suarez.
And thank you, Mr. Darcy. And Ken Papillo from Charmed. So let's.
That's beautiful. Very nice.
At least you got that one right.
Yes, I know. So, well, thank you for still staying here after the way we botched up your
And of
names.
course-
Oh, beautiful.
And of course, during the break, I was mentioning that Jen is also no stranger to the show.
Yep.
She's been on a few times with us.
It's amazing the guests we have that even after they see us, they come back again and again, and we're very appreciative of it as we are with Jen.
I was actually on TV when I was 14, back when I met, I think I was on Wallingford Public Access, and so I've been public access
Oh,
TV
okay.
a few times.
So you are
And
a veteran of the,
my
with the
many,
lighting
many
and the
years.
mic checks and everything. So good. Well, we
We won't say how long ago that was.
But I want to start out by asking you both how you got started in the music business.
Yeah, I'll let you start.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I've loved music since I was a kid. I think I was like 9 years old. I remember 9 or 10. I remember having the old stereo set and laying on my bed with speakers, one against each ear. And I grew up actually with the Partridge Family. So David Cassidy, believe it or not, was a big influence on me. You know, fast forward to today, I'm a hardcore rock and roller. So you wouldn't tell by this, I came from work. I also started with all my rock and roll clothes for you. But yeah, I've loved music ever since I was a kid, and it was a big part of my life.
And Jen, how did you get started?
Well, people ask me, how long have you been singing? Since I was born. I can't remember ever not. Music was a big deal in my family. I have a relative from probably 5, 6 generations ago that was like a musical genius who played 7 instruments. And
Wow.
my dad plays piano. It's just kind of trickles down from my family.
It's in your blood. You're actually literally
Yeah,
born.
both my
born
kids
into
are
it.
very much into music. Yeah, my older daughter plays guitar and sings probably better than I did at her age. So it's just something you can't escape it in this family, but it's okay. Like, it's just such a wonderful thing, you know?
Do you both write your own music?
No, we do a lot of covers, although I write a lot of lyrics, and I think that's the next step for Charmed, is to do some originals.
I write lyrics as well, and we have a really awesome bass player who writes his own music. So we're trying to collaborate with him at some point once we've got him up to speed on all of our stuff. So
One of the stock questions that I have when we do have songwriters on is what is tougher to write, the melody or the lyric? But I'll ask, just do lyrics, when you get the urge, does it flow, or something? Do you really, I want to write a song, I want to think of a lyric, and is it something that can be painstakingly hard to do at times?
For me, it flows. I have like a rhythm in my head, and I just put lyrics to it. It's usually matched up to another song I've heard, just some minor changes. Back when I was in the Air Force, I would have to do guard duty in midnight and just kind of stand at a door. It was kind of ridiculous. Nobody was coming there. But I'd stand at the door, and I'd have nothing else to do but I had a little pad and pen and write lyrics down. I still have that book to this day, and it's like 30 years later.
And still, if you get the motivation, you take out that pad, or
Well, I
maybe an
still have all
iPad
kinds of
now
new
and
pads.
so,
Yeah, it's like a big Post-it at my house because they're kind of all over the place. But I enjoy still writing. And now with the formation of Charmed, which is like a 5-way marriage, if you will, we have the talent and the expertise to be able to bring some of that to light. And I'm sure Jen wants to do some of her music as well as the other 3.
Okay, now you say you have written music or written
yes,
lyrics?
I've written poetry since I was a kid. Again, I have books and books of it. But a lot of times it's just driven, for me, it's just driven by emotion. I'm feeling something really strongly, and it just comes. I mean,
You've never had writer's block or anything like that when it comes
no.
to okay.
For a quick example, when my grandfather passed away, I wrote a poem for him that I read at his funeral in the church. I wrote the poem in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Because
Really?
it's quite good.
That's what you call talent.
But it was just a situation where I had so much emotion running through me, and wrote the poem in like 10 minutes, and still, I don't even have it memorized. I have it written down because it just flew right through me. And my grandmother loved it so much, we read it at his funeral.
Wow.
But it's just words just come out. I think emotion brings it out. I would assume that's the way it is with musicians too, when they feel the music and it comes out in that way for them.
Yeah, whatever instrument you're playing, whether you're a vocalist, you play guitar or piano or drums, if it's your passion, you can hear it in the playing.
Speaking of guitars, I see you've brought one with you. And,
I did.
Would you favor us? Is it time
Sure.
you could do a song?
Absolutely.
Sure.
We cover a lot of rock and roll tunes, and Jen and I decided we're going to maybe do some kind of an unplugged version of Charmed, and just to kind of kick that off, we started booking a couple of small venues where we can play some of the music we play as a full band, but it's just me on guitar and Jen with vocals, and sometimes I accompany her, and she'll have tambourine or some kind of a percussion.
I actually started playing with drums too, which is kind of fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
All right, well, let's.
Happy to play.
Whenever
Why don't
you're
we hear a
ready.
little Charmed Unplugged? And we have a new stagehand here, Lisa, this part.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Part of her duties.
New
at the,
professional,
yes.
By the way, Lisa is awesome.
Yes, she
I
is.
was so blessed when Jen introduced me to Lisa and Tina, and we did one of the Concert with Causes, and was when she told me about it, I said, I'm in.
Oh, no,
I'm
that's
all
good to
in.
hear.
So, yeah, it's terrific.
Nice.
So we're going to do a little something by Heart called Barracuda, which is a basic rock tune. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Something we're quite known for, doing a heart, and
Absolutely.
a lot of the really iconic vocals, and really difficult. Some of the stuff that could be difficult.
Yeah, Jen's a master of covering some of that, which is why we love the band. She's very
yeah.
versatile.
They are too. So,
All right, this is Charmed Unplugged.
You all set?
yep. So this ain't the end, I saw you again today. I had to turn my heart away. Smell like the sun, kisses forever. you got the blues too. All that night and all the next, went without looking back, made for the western fools, silly, silly fools. Yeah, yeah. Real things don't do the trick. No, they got something quick. You're gonna burn, 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 burn it away. Oh, barracuda. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Bravo. Bravo.
Just a sample of what you'll be hearing at Tommypalooza.
Yep, 2/5 of the band Charmed. They'll be playing at Tommypalooza, as well as other events. Do you have a website or a Facebook page of people who are interested in finding information on where you'll be performing?
Yes, we have a very good Facebook page. All the events, pictures, videos, all kinds of stuff on there. It's facebook.com/charmedbandct. Yes.
Yes.
But it's pretty simple. As long as you know Charmed Band CT, you're going to find it. So.
I've asked all the musicians that we've had the past couple of years, is it tough to get work in this area? And I'm thinking now with karaoke and recorded music and bars kind of going to that. Is it tough for a local band to find work, say in North Haven, Wallingford, Meriden?
It's getting tougher and tougher, yeah. A lot of places are shutting down. No one's going out supporting live music anymore. Not as many people, I should say. Some of the clubs that we used to play and some of the clubs that I know bands used to play are not open anymore, so they're kind of moving on to places that are still making it, still able to pay bands. So we're having to reach out further and further, to find venues.
With the unplugged band here, could you play like the smaller coffee houses?
Yep.
And
We're playing
things?
Gitanos in a couple of weeks.
Good.
Gitanos uptown.
Okay.
Yeah. Just smaller places that can't really house a full band. Just kind of we want to get the word out in like the ideal thing is to get the word out in towns we don't play in the full band yet. So it's like here, this is what we got to offer. Now you got to hear the full band, So
Well, it's very the unplugged version. I mean, this is you have a marvelous voice.
Thank you.
So
Well, that's the whole idea behind the unplugged version. You can really kind of hone in on her voice.
Yeah.
With the band, it is a whole different experience. But to be able to break it down, some of the songs that we play in the band are very hard to play on acoustic because they're heavy rock tunes and they require a lot of.
we have about 2.5 minutes left, and we're gonna. Could you play us out?
Yeah.
If you have something, even if you have an instrumental, because it's.
Oh no, we
know,
got
if you
another
don't-
one for
oh,
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
We even do a little country, so we're
But
going to
we
do a
should-
country one for
Okay,
you.
we should thank before you
I
play
want
us
to
out.
thank everybody for joining us, and don't touch that dial. Stay tuned for the squared circle immediately following this show. Thank you, Ed,
Thank you, and don't
and
forget
we'll see you at the
Tommypalooza
North Haven Fair this weekend.
this weekend.
Been wearing that crown and tearing me down. It's been a while since you treated me right. You strung me along for far too long, 'cause I never gave up a fight. Until now,
La-di-da.
I don't wanna be here just for fun. Don't wanna be under your thumb. All I wanna be is done. Done. You crossed the line too many times. I'm gonna put you in your place. Play with dynamite, don't be surprised when I blow up your face. Oh my, oh my. Mama always told me that I should play nice, but you didn't know you when she gave me that advice. I'm through with you. You're one bridge I'd like to burn. Burn up the ashes, smash the earth. I'm through with you. La-di-da.
La-di-da.
I don't wanna be part of your fun. Don't wanna be under your thumb. All I wanna be is done with the selfish ways and all the games you play. I'm through with you and everything you say. Yeah. Mama told me that I should play nice. She didn't know you when she gave me that advice. Mama always told me that I should play nice, but she didn't know you when she gave me that advice. I'm through with you. You want bridge I like to burn. Scatter the ashes, touch the earth. I'm through with you. La-di-da.
La-di-da.